Exactly right. Exactly right. When was our economy strongest? When the rich people were taxed at 70%. The top level, 70%. That's when our economy, when everybody says the good old days of the 50s, that's what it was. Everybody could support their family on one job. Your wife could go to college. This shit was happening. 60s happened and it's like Kennedy. Believe it or not, Kennedy's the one that lowered that tax. A rich guy, imagine that. This will stimulate the economy. No, not really. It worked then, hasn't worked since. Not one damn time has it stimulated the economy. Not one time.
I mean, just realistically, nobody needs $1 billion for anything. And the thing is, all the people who have that amount of money will always use the defense that, oh, that's not my money, it's the company's money that I happen to own and can control where its income goes. But it's not my money.
I'm a job creator. What a load of crap. People that buy shit are job creators. Yeah, it's like Mark Twain, the famous economist Mark Twain said, if you give $10 to a rich guy, he's got $10. If you get $10 to a poor guy, that $10 is going to end up in that rich guy's pocket by the end of the day. The difference is it's going to travel through several other people's pockets on the way there. That's economics. That's how economics actually works in capitalism. Now, give all those people all the money so they don't have to do anything for it.
Yeah.
Don't tax it. And then what? Oh yeah, they'll take care of you. How? By cutting their own taxes over and over again? Oh, okay. And then what? Oh, do it again and say it's helping.
Who's providing services? When somebody needs something, who's making that business or that company to provide the thing? Nobody. I don't need to make 15 to provide service. I already have $1 billion just from my other 3. Why would I make more companies? Why would I invest in more things? I can just making money, not make any risks in my investment.
Yep. My interest rate on the farm, the loan I'm paying on the farm, 2% in 1 year. So not only am I making payments that are, instead of $400, they're $420 now.
Yeah.
Instead of 315 of that going to principal, now only 300. Now I'm paying more, and less of the money that I'm paying more is going towards principal. That's what banking, that's what this shit does to everybody. You're just sending more money down the line that gets you nothing. Interest, that's all you're getting. And the banks never lose. Yeah. Never lose. They just pass it on to the consumer.
I mean, it's really, that's really...
It's raising our taxes. It's raising our taxes is what it's doing.
People should really be angry at...
Nobody's
interest
financially...
rates, because that money, in a general sense, interest rate money, is kind of like a money trash can, right? It's not really going into anything, right? It's going into a bank, and the bank is just keeping the money. Or what do they do? What do banks do with their money, right? What do they do to it to help
resources. They exploit limited resources for cash profits. That's what they always do.
Yeah. They don't help society with it, right? They're not...
They could.
You don't see banks saying, we donated all this money to create a skate park in your local city. That doesn't happen, right? Banks aren't
They will do it. They will do it, but they will put Oscar Mayer hot dogs all over it. With labels. Yeah, fine. We'll spray paint over those too. We'll give a shit. Yeah, so that's... Well, do you consider yourself financially literate? And it's no offense or anything.
I don't know if I would call myself... I think I'm moderately literate. I wouldn't call myself an expert. But I am famously miser. I don't like spending money because I do realize that the most powerful thing I have is my money. So what I choose to spend it on is my prerogative. My only power, really, as a low income person, that's my only power, is what I spend my money.
Well, you are financially literate in some sense, but, you don't consider yourself an expert,
right?
But there's so many people. There's so many people that are just completely illiterate, and your cousin Bob is one of them, because he doesn't know anything about anything, but he acts like he's smart. That's just the worst kind of combination. And you can't explain what compound interest is to the guy. You can't explain what escrow is. He didn't want to hear it. You know, he knew it was a word and it was important, but he didn't know what it actually was. So when you have to have discussions with people that are financially literate, and you try to explain to them how they're being screwed by rich people, and they reject it completely, you're like, yeah, we're fucked. Because now everybody going to school doesn't learn anything. They don't learn anything. They don't learn to balance a checkbook. They don't learn they have to pay taxes. They don't learn how to drive a car. They don't learn shit. You get out in the world, it's like, what do I do? Ask your parents.
My parents are dead. What am I supposed to ask? No, I actually had this discussion on Twitter.
There's no civics thought either.
A couple weeks ago, I had this discussion on Twitter. It was about how there's people out there, because they didn't get taught this stuff, right? That are my age.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have health insurance. And then people are like, oh, you're an idiot. How come you don't have health insurance? Didn't your parents tell you how to do it or blah, blah, blah? And it's like, no, that's the problem here. There's a lot of people in the world right now that don't have any education on anything because there's not a single person that told you, right? Currently in like a victim blaming scenario where you don't know something.
Deal with it.
It's your fault that you don't know something. Somebody didn't tell you this information. That's your fault. You should research everything. As soon as you turn 18, you need to research everything that's ever going to happen to you, and you must know it as soon as possible. Even though what's realistically happens as a human, that you don't know something, somebody who does know it says, oh, this is how you do it. And then you go, wow, thanks for teaching me. That's the end of that. But now we're in a situation where we're just victim blaming people for not being taught anything by nobody.
Yeah, and my favorite is like these old people going, people these days are stupid. Why don't you go teach somebody something?
If you're so annoyed by it, do something.
It's really irritating when old people do that shit. What do? You sit around your house and complain that everybody's stupid and shoot the first person that rings your doorbell? Is that what you're doing, guy? Because you seem like a completely cranky idiot. Complaining that people are stupid. Go teach school. If you got some special knowledge, go teach somebody. Stop being a slug. Anybody can blame. God, a baby comes out of the womb blaming. Hey, I was just happy. Everybody's ruining my life now.
I found the tweet. The tweet was about how a Twitch streamer goes to the hospital a lot, does not have any health insurance. She just pays out of her pocket because this is what she quotes saying. Her parents are Republicans.
Oh,
that's what she said.
We're not going to buy insurance.
They're very conservative. They didn't tell me how to get health insurance. They think having health insurance is for weak people or something. Pay all of your health out of pocket, because that's what a real American does. They pay triple the amount they need to pay because they don't have health insurance. This
is what the Republicans consider the success of our school system. Getting people out there so they can be really stupid and manipulated by just bad information without ever learning a scientific method or how to research things or verify sources. Just like, Russia declaring it was a drone strike from Ukraine with no evidence. And people just accept it blindly. Well, it's obvious. How is it obvious? How is it obvious?
Yeah, where are you basing this off of? Where's your information?
And by the way, why does one country get to do this shit and the other one don't? Where's that fucking rule written down? Fuck you, Putin. I hope they do assassinate you. Holy shit. Russia can't wait for you to leave. You know that, right? The secret of being a dictator is everybody fucking hates you.
Was it yesterday or the day before I was talking about Russians going to Georgia? Why are there so many Russians leaving your country if they love you so much? I don't know. That's weird.
It has to do with all them graves, anonymous graves in Ukraine that they send us pictures of. If you cover the actual reportage of the Ukraine war, the real embedded reporters, you get the real information, not the Russian propaganda. And it's like, they're just sending people out there with no training to get slaughtered. Let's get behind that. Could you imagine if our country just started drafting people and running them through about a 15-day boot camp and throwing them in the front lines? We would not have a military. People would just be walking off the job.
Well,
in the
famously,
military.
the Red Army during World War II, shooting anybody who turned around. That's how they won. That's how they defeated Nazi Germany. If you turned around to run away,
they were occupied.
You would get killed by the people behind you. So
they were occupied, though. They were occupied. That's just different. This is them just throwing their.
I'm just saying the Soviets did that to their own.
Why does it seem like
people.
we're still recording? Yeah, I know what you mean. I know.
No,
the
I am
Soviet
recording
people.
this.
Oh, okay. Well, this, yeah, which is completely different. I mean, Hitler double-crossed them and everything. So Hitler, they were
nobody knows what's going
still
on.
in for a fight.
Nobody knows what's going on. Everyone acts like they know what's going on, but they don't know anything until somebody teaches them. And that's just how everything works. Everything in the power world works that way. You don't know what's happening until somebody who already knows what's happening tells you.
I probably told you this at all early ages. Question everything, especially authority. Especially authority. How did they get to be authority in the first place? From us, right? So
why am I respecting you for? I don't even know who you are. You want my respect?
Yeah. Don't be openly disrespectful. That's not the same, right?
They're at a baseline level. You know?
Don't assume just because somebody's wearing a big old fancy suit and they drive a big old fancy car, everything they say is going to be real and true. That's what a lot of people. That's what the Trump people are. Well, he's rich. He's got to be right. He was born rich, asshole. Born rich. There's a big difference. If I was born with Trump's money and I did absolutely nothing for the rest of my life, so stick it in a bank, I would be richer than Donald Trump is now, and I wouldn't be going to prison.
Wait, now you are going to prison?
No, Trump is. Well, if there was actual laws that we
sentence made it sound like you were going to prison.
No, I'm saying if I was born rich.
Yeah.
If I was born rich,
wouldn't be going to prison.
Hundreds of millions of dollars, possibly even $1 billion worth of real estate that he inherited. And he didn't have to do nothing, right? Just sit there and collect rent. Big old New York City slumlord collecting rent, raising rents on people, throwing people out, you know, which is totally legal. And he would have been fine. Nope. He had to be Mr. You know, I gotta trump stakes and buy football teams and do all this other crap and be wildly unsuccessful at every venture until NBC gave him a show.
Because of the writer's strike, that became popular.
Yep,
and we
exactly.
turned it all the way around back there.
Assholes. Yeah, there we are.
All right.
Okay.
That's
I'm gonna try to get to.
That's our after coffee editorial there. And
right, because our show's too long for us to express our real feelings.
Exactly.
And we actually get a violent argument every single day after we go off the air.
A violent argument. You start throwing hands over the internet.
We're 5,000 miles away, but that don't stop us from fighting. Okay. Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.